Alrighty, hello and welcome to Wake Up and Airbrush. My name is Dorothy and I am the or one of the beauty experts here at Luminess. I am here to kind of help you with all of the beauty questions, product questions you might have. And one of our questions that I think I received three of them since over the weekend and throughout Monday. And they had to do with the breeze. And so this right here is an amazing tool. It is an airbrush system that is it's portable, it's light, it is nothing like I started out with in airbrushing. And it is rechargeable and it is so versatile. But there are a few things you have to know for maintenance of it. There are a few things you have to know in keeping, I mean, it's a pricey little tool. I mean, if you're talking versus a brush, you know, I mean, you're making an investment. That is what this is. And so, how do you keep your investment up? How do you keep your tool up and clean and working well? So, that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to kind of lean into the technical parts of this and how to keep your breeze going. But before we do that, I'm going to go ahead and do our demo real quick. So the great part about the breeze is you can use it for skincare. I'm using the Bulgarian rose to prep my skin. And then you can also use it for all of your makeup. So not only is it skincare, but it is prepping your skin and then applying your foundation, your makeup, your blush, all of the good stuff. And so it's super versatile. You can change the heads, do all of the things and all of that. But we are going to talk about problem solving as soon as I am done demoing. And I am not going to take a long time in the demo because I really want to talk about the problem solving. So I just added Bulgarian rose serum. It's one of our skincare preps. I love that I can use both. If you are just coming in, come in, say hi, let me know where you're from and that you're here. Now I'm going to go in with foundation with the rose foundation. I'm going to do 20 and 30. So I'm going to add 3 drops of the 30 in there and then a few drops of the 20. And then I'm going to slap this foundation on and call it a day because I want to get onto and really dive deeply into problem solving with your breeze. Because we have some new people here that are just getting their breeze in, and there is some problem solving that we need to kind of go through and that we need to go for maintenance. This is really how do you maintain your breeze to stay in the best condition it can be in? Because I know everybody's okay with maintaining it, but what do you do to get the optimal maintenance on it? So normally when I come on here, I'm talking and explaining how to use the breeze, all of the different things. Today, I am just smacking on my foundation like I would if it was an everyday thing because I want to get to the maintenance and the cleaning portion of it and show you how and what to do to really keep it the way it needs to be. So do you see how fast that demo was? Yeah, that's how fast the foundation goes on when you're doing it and just, not really talking, but just applying. So I'm going to add a little bit of extra under my eyes, a little bit of extra. I got a zit on the end of my nose. And so I'm going to hit that too. So I'm going to come in and do just a little bit of extra under my eyes to get that little bit of brightness on the tip of my nose, on my chin, because I always need a little bit more coverage on that chin area. And this is like a little bit of a highlighter for me. I strategically put it in my T-zone and under my eyes. So I'm not going heavy. I'm going just a little bit lighter and not pulling back very hard on the trigger. So you'll see just a little bit. And look, guys, my makeup's on. That is as much as I'm going to do today because that's all I really need if you want to know the truth. And that took how many minutes am I in? Less than 5 minutes. Okay, less than 5 minutes. And honestly, I still have some that I'm going to blow out. Okay, So let's go into maintenance on the breeze. I get people all the time. So demo's done. Demo's finished, done. I don't have blush on, so we're just going to slap on some blush. That way at least I can say my face is on. Did you see how quickly I put blush on after adding my foundation? Because I am not applying wet foundation, it is pretty much dry as it hits my skin because you only put a light and disperse a light amount. Okay, makeup's done. So as you have your breeze and as you get your breeze in, oh, hey there, Jeannie. So glad you're here. Linda, hello. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you like Luminess. It's a great foundation. I used the Rose foundation. And guys, my demo's over. My application's over. That is how quick and easy it is to apply. But now I want to go into problem solving, because I have a lot of people that maybe are having challenges with their breeze and they're not working the way that they need to be working or should be working. And so we're going to go through some problem solving techniques. So I just finished. Hello, Angela. Good to see you here. Good to see you here. I just finished using my breeze, doing my makeup with it. So you see all the makeup in there. So I am literally just going to clean it real quick. I am going to take water. Do not put this under the water faucet. Don't do it. Don't do it. This is a lithium battery. It does not play well with water. So get you a little water bottle, pop some water in there, and close your lid. You can put it, if you have a dual, you can put it on the highest spray. And then just blow it out. This is the only time you should be pulling this trigger back full force. The only time you should be pulling it back. Now, what am I doing when I press it against this paper towel? I am doing what we call back bubbling. You see it bubbling right there? We want to back bubble. That helps get it really, really good and clean. There is a needle inside of that needs to be cleaned well. And so back bubbling helps really clean that needle. And so every time you are finished using your breeze, this is what you should be doing to clean it. Back bubble, spray it out. Back bubble, spray it out. Okay. And that's just water, guys. I just used water, and that's a paper towel. Now, for me, you can use a paper towel. You can use a tissue. I like Q-tips. I'm just going to come in and I am just going to put my little Q-tip in there, wipe it around, dry it off, get any little residual that there might be off of it. Okay. What if it is still not blowing? Now look, if it is turning on, your compressor's working. If it's not coming out, like whatever goes in is not coming out, then we have some things to problem solve. But let's go down to step one. Step one, and I have to ask this because I forget to charge it all the time. I mean, I've showed up here to do demos sometimes and it wasn't charged. So my first question to people is, have you charged your breeze? And I know that sounds like a very a minimal first, you should think about it question, but sometimes that's the answer. Now, if your breeze is charging, you will notice that the light right here that goes around here blinks. So that means that it is charging if it is blinking on and off and going like in a little circle. Yeah, it's blinking on and off. When it is completely charged and has a full charge, that light will stay solid. And so that's going to tell you if it's done charging or if it needs more. So sometimes the compressor doesn't have enough strength. It's kind of weakening and losing its charge because it needs to be recharged. So it won't have the strength to blow your product out. So my first question is usually, when was the last time you charged it? It might need charging to have that extra strength. Second, there's a safety feature that will not let you turn the breeze on if it's plugged in. So look, my breeze is plugged in, okay? I just hit the button. It will not turn on. If I unplug my breeze, it turns on. So if you have your breeze plugged in, and good morning, Lori. If you have your breeze plugged in while you were charging and you're trying to use it, it will not let you use it, okay? And so you have to unplug your breeze from the charger for it to be able to turn on. And so that's a little extra safety feature that Luminess put in there to keep you safe. And so that is the second thing I ask people. Is your breeze unplugged? Is it fully charged? Is it unplugged? So, yes, we've already done all that. My next question to people is, does the compressor come on? So does this come on? Yes, this comes on. Okay, well then your compressor's not the issue. It's just not blowing out. Okay, well let's problem solve that. A lot of times new users think that the foundation is not blowing out when they can't see or feel the foundation on their face, which you're not supposed to be able to see or feel the foundation when it goes on. It is such a light pigment that you're not supposed to. And so I will tell them to test and see if something is actually coming out. I'll say, hey, put some water in the well and get your paper towel or your hand or whatever it is and turn it on and blow. If water is coming out and you can see the water coming out onto the paper towel, or you can feel it coming out onto your hand, then your device is working properly. You're just not seeing or feeling the foundation come out. Because here's the thing, if you are pulling back on the trigger light enough, if you are doing it optimally, you're not going to see it go on your face. You're not going to feel it go on your face. That's how it's supposed to be. Hey, Lori, we are talking about common problems and common challenges that we face when people get their breeze and maybe it's not working like they thought it was supposed to be working, or it's not turning on, or something of that nature. So we're kind of problem solving and walking through the breeze on deep cleaning and also problem solving it. So that's where we're at. We did a quick demo with the foundation on, but now we're going through all of those fun things. So if you spray water through it and water's coming out, it's working perfectly. You're not supposed to be able to see or feel the foundation go on your skin if you're pulling back lightly and properly. And so that is part of, the trigger training. We talk about trigger training. Anytime anyone comes to train with me, the first thing I tell them and teach them is trigger training. So if it's not going through, so say that water doesn't come through, or it kind of sputters to come through, or it halfway works. So now we need to go into some deeper cleaning. And that is where Tip Top Cleaner comes in. Why do we want to use a Tip Top Cleaner? So I'm going to put 3 or 4 drops of the Tip Top Cleaner in here. And I'm going to let it sit for a second. And I'm going to let it sit to explain why we use Tip Top Cleaner. Do you have to use Tip Top Cleaner every single time? You do not. You can use water and it will push everything through. But Tip Top Cleaner is a little bit heavier than water. It has some glycerin in it that helps pull things off and dissolve residual on the needle that is buried in here that you can't get to, nor should you get to. And all through here. So any of the needle that is in here that can build up residual needs to come off eventually. So the Tip Top Cleaner is formulated to break that residual down that water didn't get. It also has a lubricant in it that will lubricate your needles. This needle in here is metal. And so water, you know how water can dry out metal after it's over it. This has a glycerin in it that helps lubricate that needle and make it to where things flow through easier. Hello, Andrea. Good to see you. Good to see you. Water works great, Lori, but Tip Top Cleaner does do a little bit deeper of a clean and does maintain the needle that is hidden inside and lubricate it so that things slide through easier. So I put some Tip Top Cleaner in there. And so I'm going to go ahead and go in and blow it out. And of course, back bubble so that it goes to the back part. Blow it out and back bubble, blow it out and back bubble. And this will take the residual off that maybe water didn't get. It will lubricate the needle that is hidden inside of it. You cannot pull the needle out and clean it like you can on a traditional stylus. So this is kind of important to be able to lubricate that needle with a cleaner and with a product. Okay, so my Tip Top Cleaner's out. What else could be the challenge? The tip. This right here, this nodule, this tip comes off. So to take this tip off, if you will notice right here, it is flat. It goes flat across. That is how we know it's on correctly. It needs to be flat. But to remove it, I'm going to turn it away from me and just pull it out. Same thing with this little bolt. This right here can be taken off and can be cleaned. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my fingers around that. I'm going to turn it away from me. Everything gets turned away from me. I'm going to unscrew that, take it off. This right here, guys, is the important needle. Don't touch it. If you bend that, you won't be able to use it. This is really, really important. And so we're just going to leave that alone. And I am actually going to take one of my Q-tips, right? And I'm going to add water, or I'm going to add Tip Top Cleaner to my Q-tip, and I can just put it on a paper towel and rinse it off or whatever. But I just added a little bit of my Tip Top Cleaner, and I'm just going to clean out and wash out this little cap. And all it's going to do is take the residual of what, look at that. Look at that. Look what was all on there. I mean, yeah, it was pretty dirty. This will cause your, I don't know that I've ever cleaned this if you want to know the truth. This will cause your airbrush machine, if it needs cleaning, if it is clogged up, it will cause it to sputter. It'll cause it to, oh, wow, y'all, that was really dirty. It will cause it to not flow as well as it could. It will cause it to get stuff kind of built up in it and just not work as well as it could. And so I use a little bit of a Q-tip to get in there. It's my personal preference, but you can just run it underwater and it will break it down. And so look, I mean, it was pretty gross. So after I've cleaned my little nodule, my little screw thing here, and it's all, look, it's all nice and shiny and gold again. I'm going to place it back on, and I'm going to turn it towards me to put it back on. Now, this has different degrees of looseness. I want to turn it until it's snug. I don't need it tight. We aren't clamping this down and making it like so tight you can't move it. If it's too tight, it won't spray properly. If it's too loose, it won't spray properly. So just turn it back to you till it lightly stops in its place. Yes, Laura, you can sit it in warm water and it'll dissolve all of the stuff off. Warm water works great with that tip. Good tip, great tip, Lori. And so when you go to put your cap back on, you've got to make sure that the flat side is up. So look, when you go put this cover on, it is made to where one side is flat and one side is angled. And if you look, this is flat and this is angled. So I want my flat side on top, because if not, it'll spray funky. So I'm going to turn it away from me and turn it towards me. And then I'm going to make sure that it is flat on top and angled on the bottom. Right. So rusting your needle is a thing, Andrea. Andrea said should use both because she does them right behind each other. So when she cleans with water to rinse it out, and then she uses Tip Top Cleaner to lubricate her needle so that it doesn't rust. And it really does take good care of your needle. So you can use just the tip top, or you can use the water, or you can use both. I do both. I rinse out with the water, and then I come through every few times with the tip top cleaner to lubricate and keep my internal functions working well. Okay, so if you have done all of this, you have done the deep clean, you have done the clean and checked your needle, checked your nodules, all of that, and it is still not blowing, now it's time to contact customer service. Customer service is great about making sure you have a product that works and works well, but after all of the problem solving, the charging, the uncharging, the cleaning through the tips and the needles, all of that good stuff, if it is still not blowing out, or if you are still having a challenge, then contact customer service. Angela, do we have to rinse with water after using Tip Top? No, you do not. You do not. Just go ahead, blow it through. If you want to make sure that this is cleared out, you can take a paper towel or a Q-tip and just come through, pull up any residual. But no, Tip Top Cleaner was really meant to do a deep clean, work thoroughly with it, and not have any ill effects with any residual. But it does do what it needs to do on the inside of that needle where you can't see it, and it'll break down any issues and challenges. Now, hear me. This is the makeup artist in me being completely honest with you, okay? I know we buy this and we think we have invested in this and that it should work no matter what. You have to maintain your device. Even as a makeup artist with using a stylus, I have to maintain that stylus. I have to replace the needle on the stylus. I have to clean the stylus. I have to, honestly, I have to calibrate a stylus, which really is a pain in the rear. You don't have to calibrate this. This stays calibrated, but you do have to clean it. Now, if this clogs, whatever, and you have to replace the head, this right here, can I tell you something? Luminess has made it so economical that the heads of this is just as cheap as replacing a needle in a stylus. So that's a maintenance thing. Your compressor should work and work great. You shouldn't have any challenges with that. If you have any challenges with that, then you can call customer service and they got you. With your head, talk to them. If it's happening immediately, like you haven't had it a long time and it's just acting funky, and you've gone through all of our steps that we've problem solved here, call customer service. They'll take care of you. It's not a problem. But if you've had yours a hot minute and you use yours every day, or you're a pro and you use it often with clients, changing out this head is just as economical as changing out a needle in your stylus, and it is a maintenance thing. It's not a I broke it, or it's broke, or it's worn out, or whatever. It's a maintenance. So all you have to do is just pull it off, replace the head, and it's like new. This is your compressor. This is what blows and gets charged. This is this is your needle. This is your stylus, pretty much, if you're comparing it to a traditional airbrush system. So this is your pin stylus. This is your compressor that blows. And every once in a while, you have to change your stylus out. So, okay, I hope that helped you with some of our problem solvings that can happen with a breeze that's coming in, helping you understand, one, just troubleshooting to make sure we know what is next, and two, what to expect after a long length of time. You find that the matte foundation and sometimes primer tend to clog more. Angela, you're absolutely right. And the reason that is because the primer is meant to make foundation stick. And so it's got a little bit of pull on it. And so what happens is we put the primer in it, put it on, and then we put foundation in right after that. And guess what primer's meant to do? It's meant to grab the foundation. And so it can cause a little bit of resistance residual, and you may have to do a little bit deeper cleaning when you use the primer. And then the matte foundation also has that sticking. And when I say sticking, I mean like a matte solid. It doesn't have so many glycerins in it. It doesn't have so many of the silk in it because it gives that matte. So Angela, you're absolutely right. And that's a formula thing of how things work. So just think about it. If you're putting on a primer to make your makeup stay longer and have your foundation kind of set with it, that's what's going to happen in here. You're going to blow it through, and then whatever foundation comes through is going to kind of set on it. And so you've got to make sure that you clean it out, do a very good thorough, and keep that from clogging. So great tip, Angela. Thank you for sharing that. You are so right. That is a thing. Also, just another tip. If you are using an airbrush sealer, please don't put it through here. You're asking for a headache. A sealer does the same thing. It seals, it covers, it solidifies, but it can easily clog the needle in here. So I suggest if you're using the icon, not a big deal because you can always pull the needle out and clean it. But with this one, I would say use the spray sealer to get that sealant. Same thing, just different application. And so those are just little tips and tricks on how to preserve your breeze, how to troubleshoot your breeze if you're finding that it's not blowing the way you want it to, if you're finding that, I'm not even sure if it's blowing, what's wrong with it, and all of that. We've got new people that are trying it out, so yay. But we do have some problem-solving steps we want you to take before contacting customer service, because they're going to walk you through those anyway to see if it is one of those easy fixes that maybe we can take into consideration and fix. All righty, my friends. If you have any questions, remember, we have a team of beauty experts here to help answer your questions, to help problem solve with you, and to really help you get the most out of your Luminess experience. So ask your questions. You can give us a call. We have a direct 1-800 number just for beauty experts. You don't even have to go to customer service. You can call directly to our beauty experts. Let me see. Can I find that number? Yes, right here. You can reach our beauty experts at this number that's on the screen, and they will be there to answer your questions, help you out, help you with your color matches, help you problem solve, and teach you how to use the products and all of that good stuff. Also, just so you know, we have beauty experts in a group called Luminess Live. You can come into Luminess Live, you can post, you can ask your questions, all of that good stuff, and they will be there to answer your questions live. All righty. Well, that is what we have for today in problem solving with our breeze. But if you have any questions, reach out to us. We are here for you to help you out in any way possible. So until next time, I will see you on Wake Up and Airbrush next Wednesday.